I'm going to start recording if that's okay. So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live stream for Ustream and YouTube and Bunny's Designs, and we're colour mixing with part 3 of our Wilko's printer ink, where you get the cyan blue, the magenta and a yellow, and they're very vibrant, but by mixing the colours I've ended up with a half decent watercolour chart. So from that we've made some quite nice greens, mixing warm and cool blues, which on the colour chart are the nearest together gives the brightest greens and the furthest away gives the darkest greens, but I've kind of skew-whiffed them off again and made some different ones. So we've got some deep dull ones and we've got some bright ones, and we've got almost olive green ones there, and I think that's because of the orange. So I've decided to do a colour mix of greens using orange and cool blue and then orange and warm blue, just to see if we get browns or we get greens. So that's quite clean. So I've got on my little pot here orange and a cool blue, which is the blue straight out of the pot, which is, I think did I say it was cyan, but almost a cobalt blue, a very, very cool blue. So I shall make sure my paintbrush is dry, and so I want some blue into the orange. I'm going to have a touch more because I know it makes green. So we've got a deep, and I would call that an olive green. Can everybody see that? Do you think that's orange? Touch more blue, and that's a deeper green. So obviously the yellow in there is very intense, because you wouldn't get it's not picking up any of that red at all, because red and blue make brown. So we're getting some quite deep greens. And I'm going to keep going because I think they're completely different to the other colours. And you need to start when it's turning almost to blue, because what you have at the other end of the scale is some dark shades and blue shadows from blue. So again, that's quite nice. So without mixing a grey, I'm going to actually take this all the way, look, because then you can see some lovely blues. In fact, we could do that the other way then. And then we're still not to the original blue yet. I'll push that up a little bit more because I think I could push that up further. I'm almost, so if I put the final blue, that's the final blue. So if you were doing something with a blue, you could have some lovely, I mean, there'd be lovely shadows and reflection on a boat in the water. And those greens would be nice as well. I think those greens would be nice for reflections on water, reflections of trees and shrubs overhanging water. You've got the greens for the shrubs, and then you've got some nice greens there. So that was quite interesting. So now we'll try it with, and again, I would normally be having kittens doing that, but because oops, avalanche, can't find what I'm looking for, so I shall have to make a wet one. So I've got a piece of kitchen roll and just dunked it in some clean water and made a baby wipe. There we go. There we go. A bit wet, but hey ho. Right, so now what we need to do is we need the orange again there. But this time my children are attacking the biscuit tin. Is that still okay? Have I kind of knocked? Have I knocked slowly two things? Right, there we are. So what I have, oops, that's not good. Right, so that's the orange. So now we want a purpley blue. So we're going to go test this to make sure, because it's quite purpley. I'm going to just add a little bit more purple red into it. So that is now, oh actually I would say that's purple. You see, it doesn't take much to go too far. And I don't think that's going to come back. Oh, yes, maybe. Yes, that's okay. These are very strange things to play with, I have to say. But so we've got the purpley one, which is the warm one. It is a darker blue, but it's not as cool as that, but it's definitely not the purple. So we want a touch of that onto there to see what we're going to get. Now this might be difficult because we've got red in that, and we've got red in this one as well. So, oh, I've got a wet paintbrush, that's no good. Right, a drop more blue into that. It's still just green, which is amazing. I didn't think it would be. So that's not going to be a very strong orange then, is it? Some very unusual greens. Is everybody okay? Thank you everybody for popping in and out. And I don't know what time. I don't even know what time it is. Can everybody see what I'm doing? So this warm, this yellow and warm green. Sorry, this yellow and warm blue is giving some quite nice, very unusual colours. Whoops. These are almost teal colours. So again, we've managed to find a teal colour from a cyan blue. Forgive me if I don't keep an eye on what everybody's doing. Two reasons. One is I daren't turn my back on these these inks for a second. Right. I think I can just squish those around. squish those around. And yes, I would think you would probably call these a bit of teal. So we know that that's obviously got orange in it. It's a dark teal, but it's definitely a greeny blue, but it's not an olive, it's gone the other way. So that was quite interesting, and that's the original blue. So I wonder if you can see that. You can see okay. So that was quite interesting because the more orange and red that's in there, obviously, then it gives you the teal colours then. So we could make a darker orange and see just how far we can take that before it becomes a brown and not a green, because that one's almost a pale, I think that's yellow ochre. It's a pale yellow, brown fawn, I think. If I could look at, did somebody say on the side of these they give you what they're made of? No, it doesn't say. On professional watercolours and oils and acrylics, it tells you what they are. So next time you go in the art shop, have a look, because they were my mum's from the 70s, 60s, 70s. They're still squidgy. And they were my mum's. My husband found them outside. Let me have a look at that. Then you can see ultramarine. No, because ultramarine is its own colour. But the yellow one should say with pigments. It doesn't say. I think it's because it's quite an old one, that one. But if you go to an art shop, look on the back, look all over, and sometimes they will tell you what's in them. So, for instance, a Payne's Grey is made from a purpley blue and a dark brown. And I made it by accident. Yeah, my mum's been dead for 40 years. 40 years, yes, 40 years. This January she's been dead, bless her. No, 1972. 1972, 1890, 02, and 50, and 12. Oh no, she's been dead 40 odd years. Oh my goodness. She died when I was 13. I'm not that old. I thought I might tell you that I'm not that old. Well, I am old, but I'm not that old. So, yeah, there's some really unusual bluey greens. And then we've got some browny greens. So the orange definitely influences the olivey browny one. So that's quite interesting. I'm sure that if you put pink into it, you get browns. But we'll just see how far we can take this orange. So we've got this orange here, and we're just going to put a touch of red orange. You see what I mean about just a touch. Oh, mind you, it is an orangey red. It's an orangey red, is that? It's definitely not a pinky red. So we are now going for the cool blue, because we've got enough red in that. So we're going for the cool blue. Now I wonder if we're going to get browns or we're going to get purples. So we've got our cool blue. And we're now going into our orangey reds. We've got some nice browns. Actually, what I should have done, I'm going to take that back. So that blue is very strong in there. Another orange. I'm going to work backwards because that's too dark, is that? So we've passed the greens, but we still got a little bit of yellow in there, so we could end up with an olive green. No, we've just gone too far. Just that bit too far. But I've got some quite nice. Now it depends on the pigment and it depends which blue you use, so we'll go in there again. And this should be darker still now. Oh, we've got a green. We have a green. Because what we have is we have the yellow. We have the yellow from the orange, which is now overpowering the red in the orange. So we have the green. So I did think we should have a little bit. But we've got to overpower that pink that made the yellow into an orange. So how amazing is that? If you'd have told anybody, make orange and all I've done. So that was interesting. Now maybe that's because these are so vibrant. That yellow is so vibrant that it's overpowered a red, which in normal watercolours would never happen. I think that's only because of the because it is a printer ink. Because of this reaction, we have got some greeny browny greens. But again, for stems or for leaves, they'd be beautiful colours, those, for underneath stems and leaves that are underneath each other. They're not completely in the dark, but they have a shadow over them, so these would be fab under some of these brighter greens. So if I go back to making a brown, what did I say Payne's grey was? It's ultramarine and dark brown, right? So that one I would say is ultramarine. So I need a dark brown, so I need to put some, I'm going to put some red orange in that. Oh, now we are playing with colours now. Oh, no, it is a brown. That's quite a dark brown. And so, I don't know, am I still in camera? We'll play around with the browns a little bit now, because we go from greens to browns quite naturally. I'm going to use a different brush. What do I need now? I said a blue purple. And a blue purple is that. So you should get burnt umber and it should go browner. And darker and darker. So that's where your burnt umber comes in and your Van Dyke brown. I think that's Van Dyke brown. So if you go to and look at a professional set of watercolours or oils and you look at the back of Van Dyke brown, you should see, you should definitely see ultramarine, and you should see an orange or a red. Well, you don't have an orange, it would be red, some kind of red. to make that brown, and then you would, it'll be a lighter red, it'll be a cool red, it won't be a pinky red, because that goes to purple. Did that make sense? So more blue into the brown. I'm trying to get it to Payne's grey. That's getting there. That's a real dirty grey, but I have to have a little bit more purple blue. But these would be quite nice shadows as well. I think that's almost Payne's grey. We'll just take it one more step further. I think that's Payne's grey, which is burnt umber or Van Dyke brown, a really dark brown with the ultramarine blue. I'm going to take that a bit stage further because I don't think once it dries it changes again. You want it just before you can see the blue tint, but I would think that that's Payne's grey. Does it look Payne's grey? So Payne's grey, and again look at how many greys we've got, those beautiful browny greys. For horses, for browns, trees, the stumps, the bark, anything. If you're doing a skirt that's brown and you've got that brown, but you know the inner crease would be really deep, those two would be lovely together. And what you're doing is you're taking that from a natural, all those are naturally from there. Look, I'm in frame, and so you can use any of those and they won't look out of place there. The same with any of these, with this, they won't look out of place because they're all a derivative, if I can say that, of that. The same with these, all these from there, that way, are all from there. And the same with the blues. If you've got something the pale blue, all these will lend themselves to go with that because they've come from that. Does that make sense? It looks Payne, yeah. If you look at a Payne's grey, I can't show you the thing. And as I say, for I think for college, I was making squares. I broke my elbow, so I had to do squares with a wallpaper brush about that size, and I painted with my right hand, and I masked off these squares. And normally I work quite small, so it was really difficult for me. And I made this, I think it was 5 foot by 5 foot, and I made the reds into blacks and the blacks into reds, not by using black at all, but I put blue to red until it went black in the middle, the same way as that's going black, and the same way that that is black. And that is made from 3 colours. The cyan blue, the bright yellow, and the magenta pink. Put them together and you get black. So never make your blacks because these are gorgeous greys. So we could take that another step forward, and we could make, now we've gone into, so we've got kind of warmish greens, and now we've gone into dark greens, and then it's lent itself into browns and fawn colours. Is it a brown or is it a green? Is this a green or is it a greeny brown or is it a browny green? So again, you know, that's when you start to think about colour. You know, that's green, that's green, that's green, that's green. There will be one in between there. I mean, that's a greeny brown, but you wouldn't say that was a green. So if we go back into here, I'm going to make, I've got a lot of cool blue, so I'm going to use that because we use the red orange, and the red orange, so we've got red orange, And now we've got, that's the cool blue. So that would be a nice shade. So we're getting purples, even though that's an orangey red. Now you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't get that. You would get definitely browns if you did that with ordinary colours. You wouldn't get purples, but it's because the pink is so vibrant. Magenta is so vibrant that I'm getting purples. But what beautiful purples. But with what we're talking about now is on the colour wheels, if we take a red orange and a cool blue, we get the dark purple. We don't get the vibrant purples. We're getting the dull purples, which of course are wonderful for shadows and things. I mean, you'd still call that a purple, but it's not a bright purple. And if you keep going, that purple should end up being a blue purple now. Oh, hi Vicky, hi everybody. Welcome to Bunny's Designs. I'm still playing about with my printer inks. So I have a very vibrant blue, a very vibrant magenta, and a very vibrant yellow. I was going to make me a cup of tea. So I don't know if you can see those purples. So I hope everybody's following me. Is anybody colouring, playing about with colours? We've been doing the greens. I just have to scroll down a little bit because I don't know what I mean. Oh, I've forgotten that I'll scroll out a smidgen, shall I? That might be better. What I'm going to do is this week oops. Yeah, Sunset says she loves wearing black. I always thought of it as avoiding colour, but actually it's a statement that embraces all colours. I suppose it does, yeah, I suppose it does. As I say, you if you told somebody that you would take, you can't see it now, but that, just double make sure that I'm in. I've taken that pink red, well, very, very pink, magenta, a vibrant yellow, and a cyan blue, a very, very bright, cool blue. And because I've been washing my brush out for 2 days, I've now got black. Now there's a little bit more red in there, but to prove it, I'll show you what it looks like. It's definitely black. And this is turning black, but it looks greeny black because I've been doing all greens today. I left my paintbrush in my water as well. Cardinal sin. Another one. That looks almost black, but it's more greeny because I've just made all those greens. But now I've started to put some pinks and purples in there. The water's changing colour. Oops, Oh dear, paintbrush. Lost and gone forever. Well, no, just a paintbrush down. Oops. So that's why a lot of people don't buy it. You don't need black. So we've got this purple, which we started out as a bright pink and a cold blue, and I'm still taking it as far as I can down. So I need the purpley blue. Oh no, I don't. I need the cool blue. And you've still got the pink in there, but it's almost back to its original now. Actually, that was a bit too much probably. And that's the original blue. So what we could do is we could leave that there and get rid of that. I just have to bear me 2 seconds. Excuse me, could everybody stop talking, please? Thank you. Whinging girls, bless them. So we've had a pale one, and now we're going to have we had a pink? So we'll have wrong blue. We need a purple blue now. So we need a purple blue, and I haven't got a lot left. So I'll show you how I got purple blue. And I would advise to keep that in something. So this is clean because I've got 2 more clean water pots there. I don't need very much, but I'm quite enjoying playing at the moment. Put that back in there. Right, that's clean for next time. Oh, lid on, lid on. So at the moment we have this vivid blue, and that's what gave me a problem with the wheel, because it was like, well, how on earth am I going to get this, which is a cool blue, to purple? In order to make the red, the warm, the cool red, that red, I was given the pink. So what I had to do was to make an orange. So I made an orange, and then I put a drop of orange into the bright magenta to make the red, because everything's so vibrant. So although to make this blue a purpley blue, I don't want to put red in it, because that instantly will make purple, but I've already got purple. And because I mixed the wrong blue, I've got a dull purple, but I have a bright purple. So in order to get that blue to be purple, I'm not adding red. I'm just going to put the smallest amount of purple in it. And it's almost turned. In fact, I don't think I want to go any further, because maybe just a smidgen, because we do want a difference. But if you're not careful, that's probably just about right. That's just about a warm purple when we put it next to the blue. I'm just thinking if I might just do a smidgen more, just a smidgen. Now you see I've got purple now. That's definitely a purple now. So I've gone too far. So the only way to get it back is to take a whole blue and put it in there and hope. Yeah, we've taken it back. So we've gone from that to that to that to that, back to that. So luckily I've got it to a warm blue. So we can put that one next to that one. Got it. It's a bit tricky. It's not easy. So is everybody happy with that then? So now I have got, I've got a purpley blue, which I want there, and that's a purple blue. And now I'm going to use the red purple, which is that colour. And so we know what's going to happen, don't we? We're going to get purple instantly, because the warm blue purple and the purple red make bright purple. The purple blue, the warm blue, and the purple red, the warm red, make bright purple. And we've got bright purple. So this should give us some really nice purples now. So we've gone from greens to browns to purples. But are they dark pinks or are they purples? I think that was a bit too much of a jump, actually. To take it back a bit. So these are quite nice. Warm purples. And then when you start mixing warm pink in there, it doesn't go dull, it just gets a lighter pink or a lighter purple. So if you have a cold blue and a warm pink, you want purple, but you don't get purple. You get dirty purples. So you want the warm, closest colours. And we need the red next. We need so we've done a warm and a cool. So now we'll do a cool blue. So we'll have a cool blue this time. And we'll have rose red. I've done the cool blue. It's the wrong red. Whoops. They should be very similar. Doesn't take much to make a mistake. I thought my red was there, but it isn't. That one's my red orange. But never mind. Never get tired of different purples. If you take one and go back that way, you'll get the one off the pink. So we've got some nice bluey purples for shadows. Again, that's quite nice. So what we need to do now is we need a red orange. That Doesn't look too much like a red orange, but I think we need just a tiny bit of, oh, I said it had to be orange, so I've got to be really careful. Oh, I suppose that is, yes, it is a red orange, that one. Yep, so I've now got my red orange. And we'll have a blue purple. So I've got the blue with, oh, I still think that's a bit too pinky. I still think that's too pinky. I don't want that pink. I need it a little bit oranger. No, I need, it's got to be orange. That's better. That's happy with that one. So we've got the red and we've got the blue, so we don't too much do it. So we'll start there. And then that was a bit of a big jump, that, wasn't it? Let me see if I can get back a smidgen. Blue purple. That's better. So you're going to get some really dark reds. So I'm going to take that backwards actually, because I didn't like that way that did. It wasn't a very good test. So I'm going to take that backwards. Because that should give some really nice deep purples. Is everybody okay? Does that still make a bit of sense? And some really nice deep purples, but because we've got the purple, the red in the purple, and we've got the red in the red, we've almost gone back to blue again now. Because we've got a lot of pinky red in it, we haven't got browns, so that's telling me that that is not red enough, that's not cool enough, because there's far too much pink in it to get it to browns. It very quickly turned to pinks. So I now need to make, oh, actually I don't need to make any more because I do the blue one. I just do the blue one, and then we've gone to purples then. So this time we'll have, no, I really want, I'm going to make that into a red. Because I want a really orangey red. That's almost orange, so I need a bit more. Ah, I know why it's taking a long time, because I'm using red orange, but hey ho. I'm going to try and get, so that's more like, now we have, if I just do that like that, it's a little bit too, still too, get there in the end. You see, that one is too red, I think, isn't it? And now that's a bit orange, isn't that? Wasn't that a red? Oh, that was a red. That was a red. It's a pinky red, that one. Happy with that one. Right, got it now. Right, so we have now an orangey red, which is a cool red. That took some time, sorry about that. This doesn't react the same as... so we had an orangey red and a cool purple. But I'm still going to do the cool blue because... So now we've taken out the red from the pink, the blue, and the red from the red. So the pink from the red. So what we need to do is we've got that one, we've got that one. So we're now looking at that blue, the cool blue, and a cool red, which is going to give us... Let's take it back one. And you straight away go in your browns because you've got no pink in there to keep it purple. You've got no warmth in the blue to keep it purple either. So you're going to end up with some really nice grey browns because the cool blue is in charge kind of thing, and it almost goes to a dirty green because that's a warmy yellowy orange. You've got the yellow in there, so the yellow is now reacting to the green because there's less pink, and so it turns into a green. It's very strange. Did anybody get any of that? Is that okay? And I'm just going to do one more because I want to show the purple. So we've done a warm, a cold one with a cold. Now I want to do a warm one. Oh, I've done the warm one there, haven't we? So we've got some purples. So I'd kind of... Now, this is the green that I mixed originally. Well, I did that green, and I did that green. And all I had was those three colours. But one was made with a touch of red, and the other was made with just yellow and blue. And then we had the purple that I made. I quite like that purple. But I had a red and a blue, and I made that purple, which was completely yuck. So did that make a bit of sense? Did you get anything out of that? Was it useful? So just looking at mixing these colours, so I've now changed some of these colours now because that's my red orange now. So we've gone straight through the greens. Oh, I'll zoom out a bit. So hi everybody, is everybody quite happy with that? Oh, that's why it was jumpy. Sorry about that. The only thing with the inks is it does go through, so you need something that you're not really precious with. But what we could have a quick look at, if you wanted, is adding the complementary colours to make the greys instead of adding Payne's grey. So what you need to do is you need to get you need a yellow. I don't have to. You need a yellow. Oh, I forgot to put them back in the box. You want a yellow. Now you could do it with a bright yellow, or you could do it with both yellows. You will get completely different things. So actually, it's quite good. So you want a bright yellow and a cold yellow and a warm yellow. And what you do is you add a cold yellow or a warm yellow, depending on where it is. So that's quite a warm yellow. And opposite is quite a cold. Yeah, it's about a cold. You see, a warm yellow, a cold yellow, opposite is a warm purple. So that yellow there is that one, and opposite there is a purpley blue. A purple blue. So opposite you want the purple, and then you slowly mix a bit of purple in, and first of all it goes green, because in purple there's a lot of blue. But eventually, if you keep going, it'll turn back to its purple. So the same with the orange. The orange, the complementary colour for orange is green. Sorry, is blue. So you want blue, you have your orange and you add blue to it. But depending on what type of blue, you're going to have your greens, because it's absorbing the blue with the orange that's the yellow. So you're going to get your green, your greens. The same with the cool reds. If you can, that's the same green added to both reds, but they're completely different. They're orangey browns and they're pinky browns. The blues are the same green, but you've got the blues. For the cool blues, you've got cold colours, and for the warm blues, you've got warm greens. And then that was a pale green, a cool green with a red. Does that make sense to everybody? So, does that make any sense? So that was the colour wheel that I made out of the three colours. But if you play with your colours, they might be slightly different. You might get a really warm yellow, or you might get a really cold yellow. So you might... Is everybody okay with that? So even though I only started with three colours, because of the colour wheel, because of the primary colours, the yellow, the blue and the red, I didn't want that pink red. But I couldn't put yellow to the pink because it made orange. So I had to make the orange first and then add a bit of orange to the red. And that made my to the pink red, that made a red red. So that gave me 3 primary colours, yellow, blue. And from there, by playing about with them, but that's why really you could do with 6 colours. You could do with a cold red, a warm blue, and the yellow is smack bang in the middle actually. But I managed to get it a little bit cooler. You made it more yellow because you'd made the orange to get the red. I put a touch of orange in the yellow to make it a yellowy, a warmer yellow. So it doesn't matter what your colours are, you can make these. So if you wanted best, well, it was £40 I think for 4. I got 10 colours. If I'd have got 6 colours at £4, £5, £30. Instead of spending hundreds of pounds on one set, you could have 6 of everything you fancied and make any colour you want. So these are rather strange to use. I've never used them before, and they are very, very, very vibrant, obviously because they are printer ink. But as I say, do be careful. You've got children, pets, and I think that's just from the dirty baby wipes, which is why I was mixing them on back of jam jars, because I would think these are going to be stained. So I've got quite yucky doing that. They do seem to make lovely colours. I mean, I made this yesterday, and I can reconstitute it back into a lovely green. So if you wanted to do some, as I call, watercolouring, I was playing about just with the yellows and oranges, and these are, and that's the back of that's printer ink on photocopy paper, but that's using it neat. But you can get some really unusual tones, and that's using a warm, those oranges are from a warm yellow, a warm orange and a warm blue, purpley blue, and you get these gorgeous, almost dirty orange colours. Hi Lynn, hi everybody. If I've missed you, I'm really sorry. Hi to everybody. Hope you're enjoying this. But what I was thinking to say was, for £3.50, you can make some colours and colour in, and you've got hundreds and hundreds of colours. And if you're doing it on photo paper, it doesn't matter. I wouldn't advise doing this in your colour book because they're very vibrant and they go through. And you need at least 3 or 4 pieces of photo paper because you need to test them all the time. I used the pure yellow. Let's see if I'm in frame first. I made the pure yellow straight out of the bottle, and then I had the pink and I had the blue, and then I made I put blue and pink together to make a purple, and then I put a drop of, or put yellow in 2 of them, 3 of them. And in the first drop, I put a touch of pink to make an orange. And the yellow one, I put a touch of orange in to make it into a warm yellow. So that gave me a cool yellow, a warm yellow, and an orange. And then I had a pink, the pinky red. But I didn't put yellow into it because that would make orange. So I got my pinky red and I put 2 pinky reds out. The first one was the neat pink one, which was very pink anyway. I did put a drop of orange into one of them, and I put a tiny drop of yellow into the other, so that I had a red pink, a warm red, and I had an orange red, a cold red. And that gave me the two blues, the two yellows, the two reds, a purple and an orange. And then I took the blue and a yellow and made the green. And that one I just put more yellow than blue. And that gave me all those colours. And from that, I could then make my colour wheel, my colour circle. Because I'd made the red, I actually changed it to an orange, but my orange was in between those two. But that's a pinky red, and that's an orangey red, and that was too pink. I think that's too pink. I think there's those two, which is a warm red and a cool red, so they're the wrong way around. And then you have, that was the perfect red, which was pink. So I had the pinky one with the warm purpley blue, and I got the bright purple. And the orange one and the cool blue, I got the cold purple. And then I'd made to get the red orange, I had to make an orange first, and just put a drop of orange into the red. Otherwise, it took it too far back, because that yellow was very vibrant. And a touch of the purple into the blue gave me a blue purple. So I had to make the purple first. Sorry, I made the purple first, and then I used the blue, a touch of purple into the cold blue to make the blue purple. But you wouldn't normally do that. This is just that these are so vibrant. That's what I had to do. And I've never played with them before, but as I say, I've been thinking about it. So those colours are probably, they're near, but they're not going to be exact. So if I used a cadmium yellow and a lemon yellow, I would get this. Bear with me, somewhere in here. Somewhere in here is, oops. And that's the colour that I did today, a little test one. And I got really spot on. There's a lovely red. There's a lovely orangey red. There's a lovely orange, a warm yellow, a cold yellow, some nice greens, a blue, cold blue, and a warm blue, and a purple. And then I used those colours to make the complementary colours. I just can't find the watercolour one that I did. Oh. That's the watercolour. So instantly, the cadmium red, the crimson red, lemon yellow, cadmium red, yellow. Mix those two together, you get the nice orange. The cerulean blue and the cold lemon gives you the nice green. And then the ultramarine with the red, purple red, gives you a nice bright purple. And that's the colours, adding the complementary colours to it. So they are different, but these are traditional ones that we're used to. So I will do one tomorrow. I will do one next week. I'll use watercolour. Or I could do acrylics next week. I'll do acrylics next week because they're quite bright as well. But have a go with your watercolours. Have a go with whatever pigments you have. Gouache, they'll be the same. Gouache would do, oils would do. And then obviously if you add your complementary colour, they get darker and darker till the middle you get black, which is what that is. Oh, no, that's nearly black now. That's my water for 2 days. And all I'm doing is washing my brush out from these 3 colours. So you get some gorgeous blacks as well. I think when I was playing with the greys and the purples, I made Payne's grey. I think we said that was all. Which one was Payne's grey now? Now it's dried, it isn't quite Payne's grey, I don't think. Payne's grey is a dark brown and ultramarine. So I didn't quite take it. There's a little bit of green in there. So that tells me that that brown wasn't brown enough. In fact, I might do that again because I thought there's some nice greys, but there isn't a Payne's grey. So what we need is a dark brown. We've got an orangey there, haven't we? And we need a blue. No, wrong blue. There must be too much yellow in that. That might do. Well, that's nearly getting to be a brown, but it's amazing how that yellow absolutely is making it green. Oh, I've got the green there, look. Taking it back to brown again, but it's not very dark. That might give me a brown. No, purple. There's too much red in that. It's got to be a nice orange. You need a nice orange and a blue, and of course I've messed up all the blues now. And that's almost getting there. Let's have a look at that one now. Oh yes, we're getting nearer a brown. But again, you see that's the ultramarine. So we want a dark brown and ultramarine. There's still a nut, that's a nut brown, so then we wanted the purple to really knock that out of it. Whoops, too much. And now it's gone green. No. I really need, oh, that's quite a nut brown, but then, no, I've made it too green again. But you can get some really nice shades from that. Oh, so I'm glad it's been interesting. Hope you've found a few hints about colours. I'm messing about trying to get a nice brown because I want to make Payne's grey. I think that's the nearest thing. Because the problem I have is it turns to greeny grey, see. That's almost Payne's grey. That's almost Payne's grey. So, so again, I say we've played about, but these colours, I must admit, they are different. I've never played with them before, so they're not the norm, shall we say? I think, but again, the best thing to do is just get them out. Get 3 colours or 6 colours. Get 6 colours, and as long as you remember to daub at the top what they are, like I did there, started out really neat, look, with squares. So we knew that those 2 together made those greens. Those 2 together make those greens. So the oranger or the warmer the yellow and the warmer the purple, you get the olive colours. And then the cooler, because they're next to each other, you get the bright pea greens, the bright greens. And then in between, you get kind of a mixture, depending on whether it's a warm blue or a cold blue. Did that make any sense? Did that make any sense? But then you can start playing with the pinks and the reds and the purples and the oranges, and you get for your browns then. But as I say, these are strange. But what I'll do next week, or next time I do, I'll use acrylics, because they are normally true to, nearer to the truth colour. I could try these. I got them out. What did I do with them? I could try these next week as well. I'll do 2 palettes, because as I say, there's no way I wanted to buy hundreds of these. As I say, I did get a purple, and I bought a burnt umber and a black and a white, and I bought one green because it was a forest green. Oh, they were $1.25, but I think they've gone back up to $1.99 now at Boys. I have a canary yellow, but I just looked at them and I thought, that's a cool one, that's a warm one. That's a pinky warm one, that's a cool one. That's a purpley warm one, that's a cool one. So you could do all this. In fact, I could do one really quickly, couldn't I? That'll set us up for next week then. Because you could have a play. If you've got any acrylics, you could have a play. 2 seconds. If I can just squidgle out my chairs. I've got all my drawers up. I've got everything piled up, so it's all handy for me. But when my chair is out, that's better. When my chair's out, I can't get out because I'm lame. I haven't stood up for a couple of hours now. Whoops. That's not a good idea. I'll use that. I should stand up. Sorry about that. Oh, gee. Right, if I clear everything away very quickly, we'll just do this really quickly. So you can make 3 colours. And you could write acrylics. So if you get yourself a little book, I've got some clean water, and I use the same colour paintbrushes. So it'll be 2 seconds. All the puppies are coming now, so if you shake these first before you open them. So this is azure blue. And this is, see, I couldn't open and shut these. This is cobalt blue. You see, there is no way I would be able to do this every single day. You want dark red. Oh, sorry. Yeah, dark red, but that looks a bit pinky. Oh, it might not work because it isn't that pinky, but we'll see. And then this one is cherry red, so it's like a reddy red. Oh, they're very similar, but there is just a little bit pinkier. Just. So we might get away with that. And the lemons. We've got a buttercup. And we have, and I've made a mistake, but never mind. Ow. So we have a cool blue, a cool blue and a warm red, a cool red, a cool lemon, and a warm lemon. I should have put those other two others other way around, but never mind, I'll show you why. Kitchen roll, kitchen roll, kitchen roll. Oh, kitchen roll. Oh, there it is. So if I do this really quickly, 20 minutes, and then you'll be able to see what I've done, and we'll put that there, and I'll just get some water on there, because I can't keep leaning forward. So what we need is the cold lemon should be there, and we want a touch of blue. So I was using far more blue, but that's because sorry, puppy's coming. Now that's it's a bit wishy-washy, that blue. I'm not happy with that blue. Sorry, green. It's a green, but I think that's not a cool enough. I don't think that's cold enough. It's too warm, that one, look. So all I'm getting is a wishy-washy green. No, I mean, it's a nice colour, but it's not what you would call a brightish green. Oh dear, sorry about that. Right, so we'll try this one. That's a better green. That's a better green. So we want the warm yellow. That's quite a nice colour, that. And we want the cold yellow there. Oh, wrong way around. And then you want the cold red there. That's a nice cold red. That's like a. And you want the pinky one there. It's got a pinky hole to it, just about. Oh, sorry, did you jump because of the dog? I'm so sorry. Oh dear, I'm really sorry. He's a little rat bag. I just can't do anything with him. Can't have the doors shut because he just scratches them to bits. I'm really sorry. So now we want the cool blue about there. I'm going to have to ban him. What can I do with him? He's a King Charles Spaniel and he barks at anything. There's nothing there. He's just supposed to bark. That's why they threw him out on the streets. It's a good job I've got the patience of a saint, isn't it? I should have a government warning then, should I? So we want a little bit of that there. And a little bit of that there. And that gives us, it's not a very, you see, that's a dull purple. It's not a bright, vivid purple, you see. So we need to get near as damn it to proper colours. And then we got this green here, hadn't we? Which, that's not so bad, that. But that was the wrong colours, you see. Let me just try that one with that one. That's a better, oh, I don't know if it's a better purple or not. I'm failing today with these. But these are the colours I've got. So it doesn't really work. Let's just try the orange now. So we want a tiny drop of that one and a tiny drop of that one. And that's a nice orange. So it's the red, the pinky red isn't red enough. So the next time I go, I need a pinky red, because that's going to give me some browns, browny dirty purples. It's not going to give me a bright purple. The blues are okay and the yellows are okay, and that red's okay, because from the orange right round it works. It's just that red that's wrong. So does that make sense? That it's that red, and the reason that red doesn't work to make purple is it's not pink enough. So when you look at your things, even though I looked at that, and I thought that was it isn't red enough. So next week, if we get acrylics out, and have a look, because there will be a reddy red, there'll be a pinky red, but that red and that yellow made a lovely yellow, orange. That yellow and that blue made a nice green, and that purpley blue is fine. It's the red that spotched that up. So is everybody okay with that? Did that make sense? So 6 colours are better than 3, really. It's just that I say I wanted to experiment with that. And as I said, you can make that. This is why it works in a printer. You can make the magenta a reddy red by adding a touch of orange. But if you don't have that pinky red to start with, you cannot make purples. You can make beautiful dark tones, and you can make lovely dark tones, but you will never make a bright pink or a bright purple, because what I'm doing is using a dull one, and that's why I've got a dull purple, even though it looked a little bit pinky compared to that one. Oh, do they both look orangey red? Yeah, well, that's why. I thought when I looked at that it was pinky red. It does look a bit pinky red to me. So I need to go back and get you can't make the pinky red. That's what I was saying. I had 3 colours this morning, and I made an orange, and I put a touch of orange into the pink to make the red orange. But that's why the printer ink can do it. The printer can make any colour from these. But if you don't have a bright pink, you can never make purples and pinks. Sorry, bright red. Did that make sense, Sunset? Did you get that? You can make an orangey red. I made an orangey red this morning. I made the orangey red, but the yellow was very bright, vibrant. So that's another thing to look at. You see, I made the orangey reds by making some oranges and popping a bit of orange into the red, the magenta. That gave me a red orange. But I cannot make that red, that pinky red. You must have that pinky red to start with. So a lemon yellow is cold and a pinky red is warm. Yeah, the what we call it is a red purple, because the red is nearer a purple colour. That's called a red purple. A red purple is a warm purple. A red orange is a red that's nearer the orange yellow colour, so it's cooler. And I've put in there an orange yellow, which is a warm yellow because it's nearer orange. And I've put a yellow green because it's colder and it's nearer a green than it is an orange. Does that make sense? You need the cerulean blue, the same as the printer. That is the cool blue. And again, the cool blue, I mix that blue with that magenta, and I got a purple. I didn't get a warm blue, I got a purple. And then I put some more blue out, more cyan blue out, and I put a touch of purple, and that gave me the blue. Did that is that as clear as mud? Did you want me to do this colour wheel again next week from scratch? Would that be to make all the colours from 3 printer inks? Would that be good for next week? Just do an hour doing that, to mix the colours first. Because I thought the beauty of mixing these colours is, I mean, I've got a yellow, which is the original yellow out of there. I've got a warm yellow. I had an orange, so I put yellow into 3 pots. I put the red into 3 pots. I put the blue into 3 pots. And I put the red over there into 3 pots. So I put a touch of the red into one of the yellows, just a touch, and I made an orange. And then I put a touch of the orange into one of the bright magenta pinks, and I made the cool red. I then put a touch of blue into a bright magenta pink. I only had those 2 blues, the cold blue and the pink, and I made a bright purple. And then I put a touch of purple into a blue, just a touch, and that gave me a warm blue. So that has given me an original blue, a warm blue, a purple, an original pink, a made up original red. Sorry, the red I made slightly. The pink I put a touch of orange in to make the pinky red. I put a touch more of orange to make a red orange, which is the cold one. I made the orange first with the pink and the yellow to make the orange, and then a touch of the orange into the pink to get those 2, and then the yellow and the blue, the original yellow and the original blue to make the bright green. You think that would be good? So if I mix them, I'll mix them, but I have to mix them in an odd order. You normally have a red and a yellow to make an orange, but because these are printer inks. But my idea was that I can, although these are different, I can mess about with colour on photocopy paper. And these are £1 for a set from Tesco's, and £3.50 from Wilko's. In fact, it's Wilko's paper actually, so I think it's for a £5. I can photocopy any of my colouring books and colour them in, and leave my colouring books on the side for another day to do with something else. And then I've played with the colour until I've got them right. Does that make? Do you think that would be quite a good, if I made the colours first then, because as I say, I can't do this now because I've got the wrong red. And there's no way I can make that red pink. The same way as I couldn't make that blue purple, purple blue, warm blue. I couldn't do that. But I can make it, oh sorry, cold blue. I can't make a cold blue. That's got to be an original blue. But I can add a touch of purple to it. So I can mix the two ones together and then put a touch of purple into the cold blue to get a warm blue. Right, so that's the plan for next time then. Well, for next, what I'm going to do is I'll probably, if I get a chance to stream Saturday or Sunday, I'll do a stream for water colouring in using these on a photocopy paper. Very similar to this one, but obviously do it correctly. Can't find it now. But kind of, oh, it's on the floor. So can I do one of these using that palette? That's what I might do. Right. If you look at the first section, maybe I didn't do that. Maybe I just waffled about mixing the other colours. Oh dear. Right. So that's lovely. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to have to go because somebody's having a moment. So that'll be. So thank you all for watching, and